Jake, you spoke after the first test about how that was a pretty wild experience with everything that went on. Did this feel any calmer? Did it feel like you were in the series now? How did it feel coming into the second test and then performing the way you did today? Did it feel a slightly more normal experience?
I wouldn't say normal. It's definitely not normal in Ashes series from what I noticed the first two games. Obviously, the supporters are so passionate, and especially from the English side, they're so passionate about their team, which is, you're just constantly hearing them all the time, which is cool. And it sort of gets you up and about as well too. So I think that whole experience is different, but yeah, probably a little bit more settled and sort of comfortable in what I'm doing.
Jake, when you and Travis went out there, I think everyone probably expects that Travis is going to take the real aggressor role, but you did that. Was it a discussion between you, or you realised that you were just on really quickly? And also, can you talk about how you kind of maybe treated Jofra Archer a little bit differently to the other bowlers, and why?
The answer to probably both those questions is that we probably didn't actively do any of those things consciously. I think we're quite an adaptable batting group at the moment. Obviously, Heady will always go about his way the way he does, but for me, I'm just seeing, reacting and trying to just get in good positions. And so, yeah, I didn't actively go out there and play any differently than I normally would. It just sort of ended up that way, and it's a really good wicket to bat on. So, and obviously, Joff is obviously high class, and sometimes you got to respect good bowlers, and that's what we did quite well today. So.
Jake, you scored a lot of runs with the cut shot today. Has that always been a strength of yours? And also, they bowled a lot around the wicket to you. The stats say that you're really good against that sort of bowl. Do you feel comfortable as well when they come around the wicket to you?
Yeah, stats would say probably around the wicket. I enjoy it there, but at the same time, I try not to get too caught up in stats. Obviously, a lot of bowlers bowl over the wicket, so I just try to make sure that I'm mentally in the right space so I can score runs both sides. But I think the cut shot's one of those things. Obviously, when you're short like me and obviously can't hit the ball down the ground with my technique, it's one of those things where you got to cash in when you can, and a place like this is quite good for that.
Jack, could you just talk a little bit more about batting with Travis on pretty well? Obviously, he was going for the back to Perth when he kind of took that first ball when you're coming off, you're really on the air kind of thing. And then today, how that relationship's going,
Yeah, it's good. He's taken the first ball, so I'm pretty happy with him. I'm not too superstitious with all that stuff, but at the same time, Heady did do a lot of hard work today. I had to get through Joff in the first part. We know how good he is as a bowler, and with that new ball, with the extra pace. So he did an amazing job, sort of sat down one end and took four overs off him, which was massive for me, obviously, and it's massive for the game, really, too. So probably no active discussions there, but Heady said, I'm keen to take it, and I'm always happy to sit down the other end and watch him go about his work. So.
Jake, how do you sort of make sense of the whole day? Like, obviously, it felt like you guys were right on top for periods. You lose a few there, probably some wickets, some shots. A couple of guys would like to have back. Like, how do you make sense of it? Do you feel like you're ahead of the game? Do you feel like your left runs out there?
No, I'd probably reframe that and probably say that we're in the position we are now. We have a lead before the next new ball. Because of the shots we've been playing, the options we took. You probably say that, some of the shots were a bit reckless at times, but at the same time, they backed themselves in, and as a group, that's what we want to do. And in general, I think it came off quite well. We've got a lead with the new ball coming around the corner. We know how hard it is to bat with that new ball, so I think we're in a good position.
Jack, can you talk us through when Travis Head got dropped and sort of just the effect that had on the game? Because it seemed like he found another league after that night.
Yeah, it's funny when someone gets dropped, you always feel as though you may as well just have a crack at it now. So I'm not sure what mentally goes in his mind. Probably not a lot, but so yeah, it's probably he probably doesn't affect him a whole great deal. He probably just goes about his work no matter way he wants to go about it. But it probably does have a bit of an impact, on a bowling group. I've been there in the field when someone's been dropped of high class like Heady. It's quite hard to come back from that. He moved beautifully after that.
Jake, we surprised us all how short they bowled to you, and that they didn't pitch it up a bit more, given something else. Do you feel like they've done research into you, or do you feel like they're still figuring you out?
Joff got it right, blew my foot off, so he got it right at the end there. But at the same time, I think the whack is one of those places where the short ball can work quite well. The Gabba's quite well. We can work quite well, and I would say that I score a lot of runs playing square bat shots, but at the same time, probably got out a lot of times doing that as well too. So I think just from the way the game was moving and how the ball and the wicket was playing, they were just adjusting to what was going on. But at the same time, I'm sure next innings, I'm sure they'll go full again and then adapt from there. So.
Jake, a couple of parts to this one. First of all, are you sort of happy with, I guess, the conviction that you showed, whether making clear choices about whether you defend attack, and also can you just talk us through a little bit of the visualisation you do before a go? Can you get out there in the middle and shadow bat a bit and, I guess, imagine good things?
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes it gets a bit rattling out there. I get out 4 times when I'm visualising, but it's in general. I would say that I was comfortable. I was really happy with the way I left today. I think that's a big part of my game. People obviously think about me scoring quickly and stuff like that, but as an opener, I pride myself on how well I leave. And I said I feel as though that I can adapt to different scenarios. As I said, most of the innings I've started off actually quite slowly and got into innings, which I'm really happy with. So, and some innings I might have to grind away and leave really well for a whole day. So I'm really happy with that. And the visualisation part of it's just purely because I can't take up the coach's time all that much. And I don't want to abuse the coach too much. So I sort of make sure I go out there, do my visualisation, gets me in a good space and saves probably a few wangers and a few net bowlers a bit of turmoil. So.
How long have you done it for?
Ever since I've got better, actually, to be fair. So maybe it's a win there. But yeah, I've probably done it for 3 years now, to be fair. So 3 years of consistency, and I've sort of developed my own pre-game routines, and which has been cool.
Last 2 years.
Could I just ask how difficult you found it to see the ball last night under the lights? Because England certainly struggled in the field this evening.
Yeah, it was definitely difficult. We were probably lucky that we didn't get as many square catches of the wicket as them. Yeah, it is really difficult. Yeah, I would say it's been a hard thing to do. It was hard last week for me with the red ball and obviously the crowds and stuff like that. And even this week it's been on another level hard, especially square the wickets, finding it quite difficult. So, I feel for them. I understand how hard it is out there, and it's quite, especially when they're hitting it hard, when there gets a bit of dew on the wicket as well, it comes flying at you. So yeah, it's not great visuals, but it's a different challenge.
Jake, Cam Green had made his way into the 40s. He looked pretty well set. England went the short ball tactic, and we saw him backing away a lot and seemingly trying to go even harder. Did you know what the tactic was at that point? It seemed, like a strange one from the outside looking in, I guess.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think the short ball plan is one of those things where everyone has their own methods and the way I want to go about it, and the way I'd probably go about it is different than the way Cam and how Smithy went about it, and because of that, we probably scored in different ways and provided different problems for the England bowlers. And obviously Greeny backed himself through that certain thing. Probably would have his shot back if he could. We all can when we get out. So, but up to then, I think he put a lot of pressure on them, and same with Smudge as well too. So, as I said, we're in the position we are now because of the way they batted, and hopefully we can continue that.
Brilliant. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.